Salut, je suis Sumolua, votre professeur de français. If this is your first time on clicking on any of my videos, welcome, thank you so much. And if you are a return subscriber, welcome back. Last week, I was reviewing voice messages from my intermediate French students, and I noticed something that made me pause. One student, let's call her Sarah, described her vacation as très bon, her hotel as très grand, and the food as très délicieux. She used the word très 7 times in under 2 to 3 minutes. And here's the thing, her grammar is perfect, her pronunciation impeccable, but she sounded like, I don't know if I should say a textbook. Then I played a message from another student, Dayo. 6 months ago, Dayo sounded exactly like Sarah, but now he described the vacation as inoubliable, his hotel immense, and the food exquis. So what do you think changed? Dayo started doing one simple thing I teach in my course. He stopped reaching for très every time he wanted to emphasize something. Same course, same lessons, the only difference. Dayo applied this one technique and now he sounds like he's lived in Paris for years. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance that you're like Sarah or like Dayo 6 months ago. You know your grammar, you practice regularly, but something still feels basic. And I'm willing to bet you use très way more than you realize. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to replace très with 30 French advanced adjectives that native speakers actually use so you can finally sound as fluent as you feel inside. Vous êtes prêts? C'est parti! Before we get started, do not forget you can grab your free PDF of today's entire lesson. All you need to do is input your name and email address in the link in the description box below. You totally cannot miss it. And today's lesson will be sent directly to your inbox. You will get all the 30 advanced adjectives that we learn in today's lesson, plus sample sentences. Number 1, très intelligent. Instead of always saying très intelligent, you can say brillant, brillant. Please note it's not brilliant, that's in English. Here it's brillant. You can see there is no I. Brillant. While très intelligent is correct, brillant is more sophisticated and expressive. It emphasizes not just intelligence, but exceptional, shining brilliance. Native speakers use brillant to describe someone who stands out intellectually. L'étudiant brillant pose toujours des questions pertinentes. Elle a trouvé une solution brillante au problème. Number 2, instead of saying très fatigué, say épuisé. Épuisé. Épuisé is much stronger than très fatigué. It means you're completely drained, exhausted to the point where you have no energy left. It comes from the verb épuiser, which means to use something up completely, to drain entirely. So when you use the word épuiser, it means you're totally spent. Après une longue journée de travail, Marie était épuisée. Je suis complètement épuisée. Je dois me reposer. The next one, très surprenant. Instead of saying très surprenant, say stupéfiant. Stupéfiant. Stupéfiant goes beyond just surprising. It means astonishing, mind-blowing, stunning. It describes something so surprising that it leaves you stupefied, like almost unable to react. This is the word used when something truly shocks you or blows your mind. Les résultats de l'expérience étaient stupéfiants. C'est stupéfiant de voir à quel point la technologie a évolué. The next one, très content. Instead of always saying très content, you can say ravi. 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 Please note if it's a feminine person typing or chatting, the person will put an E after the I. So it becomes R-A-V-I-E. Ravi. But if it's just masculine, it's ravi without the E. Ravi expresses delight and deep satisfaction, not just contentment. When you're ravi, you're thrilled and delighted. It's more elegant and refined than just saying très content, and French speakers often use it in polite and formal situations to show genuine pleasure. Je suis ravi de faire votre connaissance. Nous sommes ravis que vous ayez accepté notre invitation. The next one, très grand. Instead of always saying très grand, you can say immense. Immense. Please note it's not immense. In English, we say immense, but in French, it's immense. Immense. This word emphasizes vastness and enormousness beyond just very big. It suggests something so large it's almost overwhelming. So please use immense when you want to convey that something is extraordinarily large or extensive. Ils ont un jardin immense derrière leur maison. Le Sahara est un désert immense. The next one, très petit. Instead of always saying très petit, say minuscule. Minuscule. This means something is extremely small, tiny, or minute. While très petit just means very small, minuscule emphasizes how incredibly small something is, almost too small to notice. It adds drama and precision to your description. L'appartement est minuscule mais très confortable. J'ai trouvé une erreur minuscule dans le document. The next one, très froid. Instead of saying très froid, you can say glacial. Glacial. So instead of saying il fait très froid, you can say il fait un froid glacial. Glacial comes from glass, which literally means icy cold as ice. It's much more vivid and expressive than très froid, painting a picture of extreme biting cold. I'm not looking forward to winter. I'm not looking forward to winter. But yeah, French speakers also use it figuratively to describe a chilly atmosphere or an unwelcoming attitude. Il fait un froid glacial aujourd'hui. Son accueil était glacial. The next one, instead of saying très chaud, you can say brûlant. 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 Brûlant comes from the verb brûler, to burn, and so it means burning hot or scorching. So when something is brûlant, it's so hot that it could burn you. This word is much more powerful and expressive than très chaud, and so it conveys intensity and danger from extreme heat. Le café est brûlant, attention! Il fait une chaleur brûlante en été au Sahara. The next one, très beau. That works, but instead you can say magnifique. 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 And this just means magnificent, splendid, gorgeous. It just goes beyond very beautiful. It suggests grandeur, splendor, and just breathtaking beauty. Most French speakers use this word when something is truly spectacular and takes your breath away. La vue depuis la montagne est magnifique. Tu es magnifique dans cette robe. The next one, instead of always saying très laid, you can say hideux. Hideux. And this word just means hideous or repulsive. It's a strong word for extreme ugliness. So while très laid means very ugly, hideux suggests something so ugly it's shocking or disturbing. But please pay attention and be careful with this word because it's quite harsh. Ce bâtiment moderne est hideux à mon avis. Le monstre dans les films était hideux. 11, très en colère, furieux. So instead of obviously saying très en colère, which works, you can say furieux. 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 This means furious, enraged, or livid. It's much more intense than just très en colère, which is just very angry. When you're furieux, you're not just upset, you're absolutely fuming, like you can see the smoke coming out of your ears. Yeah. This single word captures extreme anger more powerfully and concisely than using just the phrase très en colère. Mon père était furieux quand il a appris la nouvelle. Elle est devenue furieuse après cette insulte. The next one, très triste. Instead of just saying très triste, you can also say je suis désolé or nous sommes désolés. You might be asking, Sumo, why use désolé? I thought désolé means sorry. Yes, you're right. Désolé has two meanings. It commonly means sorry, but it can also convey being devastated, heartbroken, or deeply saddened, especially when reacting to sad news affecting someone else. When someone is désolé, they're expressing genuine empathy or grief, not just personal sadness. Okay, please know that context clarifies the meaning. Elle était désolée d'apprendre le décès de son ami. Nous sommes tous désolés de cette terrible nouvelle. So please remember, désolé is context dependent and usually directed toward a situation, not just your internal mood. Avoid using désolé to replace triste for personal feelings unrelated to an event. For example, je suis très triste aujourd'hui. is way better than je suis désolé aujourd'hui. Next one, très peur. Instead of always saying that, you can say terrifié, terrifié, terrifié. So why use terrifié? Terrifié means petrified or terrified, and it just describes extreme fear. While j'ai très peur means I'm very afraid, je suis terrifié means you are absolutely terrified, like you're frozen with fear. Notice also that you change from avoir peur to être terrifié. Okay, so the verb construction changes to les enfants étaient terrifiés par l'orage. J'étais terrifié pendant le film d'horreur. The next one, instead of always saying très drôle, you can say hilarant. 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 This word means hilarious, something so funny it makes you laugh uncontrollably. While très drôle means very funny, hilarant describes comedy that has you in stitches. This word comes from hilarité, and it captures that feeling when something is laugh out loud funny. Ce film est hilarant. J'ai ri du début à la fin. Son histoire était absolument hilarante. 15. Très difficile. Instead of always saying that, why don't you go ahead and say ardu? Ardu. This word means arduous, grueling, or extremely challenging. It's a more sophisticated and literary word than très difficile. Ardu suggests something that requires great effort and perseverance. It's not just difficult, it's exhaustingly hard. And so French speakers use this for serious challenges. L'ascension de cette montagne est ardue. C'est un travail ardu qui demande beaucoup de patience. You're halfway through and you're doing amazing. If you've made it to this point, type in the comments, je maîtrise le français. And this just means I'm mastering French, and you absolutely are. Don't forget to grab your free PDF in the description box below if you haven't already. Let's keep going with 15 more advanced adjectives. Says, très facile. Instead of always saying that, why not say simple? Simple, not simple. In English, we say simple. In French, same spelling, different pronunciation. Simple, simple. In French, simple is actually stronger than facile. When something is simple, it's straightforward, uncomplicated, and effortless. While très facile means very easy, simple suggests something is so easy, it's obvious, and doesn't require any complex thinking. French speakers often use this word to emphasize how straightforward something should be. La solution est simple. Pourquoi tu compliques? C'est-tu simple? Il suffit de suivre les instructions. The next one, très rapide. Instead of saying that, you can say fulgurant. 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 And why use fulgurant? Fulgurant means lightning fast or blazing. It comes from the Latin fulgur, meaning lightning. This word describes something happening at incredible, almost unbelievable speed. While très rapide just means very fast, fulgurant paints a picture of lightning quick action. French speakers often use this for sudden dramatic success or changes. Son succès a été fulgurant. La maladie a progressé de façon fulgurante. The next one, très lent. Instead of saying that, you can say laborieux. 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 Laborieux means laborious, painstaking, or painfully slow. It comes from labor, labor or work, and suggests something takes so much effort that it's tedious. While très lent just means very slow, laborieux implies frustrating slowness that requires patience. It's often used for processes that are unnecessarily complicated or drawn out. Le processus d'inscription était laborieux. La lecture de ce document est laborieuse. The next one, instead of saying très cher, you can say exorbitant. 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 This just means outrageously expensive or unreasonably priced. While très cher means very expensive, exorbitant suggests the price is so high it's almost offensive or ridiculous. French speakers use this word when they think something is overpriced and the cost is unjustified. Le prix de cette voiture est exorbitant. Les loyers à Paris sont exorbitants. The next one, très bon. Instead of always saying that, you can say excellent. Excellent, not excellent. In English, I know we say excellence, but in French, it is excellent. This just means excellence or outstanding, expressing superiority and high quality. While Très bon is perfectly fine. Excellent is more enthusiastic and emphatic. It shows you're not just satisfied but truly impressed. French speakers use this to give strong recommendations and express genuine satisfaction. Ce restaurant est excellent. Je le recommande. Tu as fait un excellent travail. 21. Très mauvais. Instead of always saying this, say abominable. 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 This just means abominable, atrocious, or appalling. It's a strong word that suggests that something is not just very bad, but, truly horrible and unacceptable. French speakers use abominable when they want to express, strong disapproval or disgust at how terrible something is. La qualité du service était abominable. Le temps est abominable aujourd'hui. So please note for this word, abominable often carries an emotional charge, which just means that it's not neutral, okay? And so it's best to use when you want to emphasize outrage or extreme negativity. Like remember one of the words we looked at, glacial? This one is most often used with c'est or le, la, or even est, rather than describing a person directly. So instead of saying c'est très mauvais, you say c'est abominable. Do you get? So you don't just use the word alone and say maybe somebody is that. No. 22. Instead of always saying très vieux, you can say antique. 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 This means ancient, I'm sure you guessed it, or antique. And this just signifies something very old, usually from ancient times or at least several centuries old. While très vieux just means very old, antique carries a sense of historical significance and age. Be careful though, you wouldn't use this for people. Only for objects and building. Ce bâtiment est antique, il date du Moyen Âge. J'ai trouvé un vase antique au marché aux puces. 23. Instead of always saying très nouveau, c'est flambant neuf. Flambant neuf. Flambant neuf. This is a wonderful French expression that means brand new or brand spanking new. Flambant comes from flamber, which is to flame, suggesting something so new it's still shining or gleaming like fire. This colorful expression is much more vivid and exciting than très nouveau. French people love using this for new purchases. J'ai acheté une voiture flambant neuve. Regarde mes chaussures, elles sont flambant neuves. The next one, très faim. Instead, you can say affamé, affamé, affamé. And so instead of saying j'ai très faim, you can say je suis affamé. Affamé means starving or famished, which is much more dramatic than j'ai très faim. When you're affamé, you're absolutely ravenous. You're just like you're desperately hungry. And please notice the verb change. Avoir faim means to have hunger, but être affamé means to be starving, okay? Je suis affamé, je n'ai rien mangé depuis ce matin. Après la randonnée, nous étions tous affamés. The next one, instead of saying j'ai très soif, c'est je suis assoiffé. 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 Assoiffé means parched or desperately thirsty, which is much stronger than j'ai très soif. When you're assoiffé, your thirst is extreme. And please, for this one as well, notice the verb change. Avoir soif means to have thirst. Être assoiffé means to be parched, okay? This word just emphasizes severe thirst and adds drama to your sentence. Après la course, j'étais complètement assoiffé. Il fait si chaud, je suis assoiffé. The next one, instead of just saying très riche, you can say fortuné. Fortuné. Fortuné means wealthy, affluent, or well-off. It's a more elegant and sophisticated way to describe someone who is rich. While très riche is direct, fortuné has a refined quality. It comes from the word fortune and suggests someone who has been blessed with wealth. So French speakers often prefer using this word in polite conversations. C'est une famille très fortunée. Il a épousé une femme fortunée. The next one, très pauvre. Instead, say démuni, démuni, démuni. And this just means destitute, deprived, or lacking resources. It's a more formal and respectful way to describe poverty than saying très pauvre. Démuni emphasizes a lack of resources and means rather than just poverty. The prefix dé suggests removal or absence, and so démuni literally means without means. It's often used in social and charitable contexts. L'association aide les personnes démunies. Beaucoup de familles sont démunies face à cette crise. 28. Instead of très sale, you can say répugnant. Répugnant. Please note it's not repugnant. You can see there's an accent. Répugnant. Répugnant means disgusting, revolting, or even repulsive. Yeah. While très sale means very dirty, répugnant suggests something so filthy that it's nauseating and offensive. This word comes from répugner, which means to disgust, and it's much stronger. It conveys not just dirtiness, but actual disgust and revulsion. La salle de bain était dans un état répugnant. L'odeur était répugnante. The next one, instead of always saying très propre, you can say impeccable. Impeccable. And this just means spotless, flawless, or impeccable, you guessed right. While très propre means very clean, impeccable suggests perfection, like not a speck of dust, absolutely pristine. And so French speakers also use to describe flawless work or behavior. Sa maison est toujours impeccable. Ton travail est impeccable. Félicitations. The next one, très important. Instead, you can say crucial. Crucial. Crucial means crucial, critical, or even vital. And it suggests that something is not just important, but, like absolutely essential. While très important means very important, crucial emphasizes that something is a deciding factor or, even a turning point. The word comes from Latin crux. I hope I pronounced that correctly, suggesting a crossroads where critical decision must be made. And so French speakers use this for matters of importance. C'est une décision cruciale pour notre avenir. Votre participation est cruciale au succès du projet. Félicitations! You've just learned 30 French advanced adjectives that will definitely transform the way you speak. Now you understand not just what these words mean, but why they're better than using très all the time. Each of these adjectives add nuance, emotion, and sophistication to your French. Instead of always relying on très plus basic adjective, you now have powerful alternatives that French speakers use every day. This is what separates intermediate learners from advanced speakers, making deliberate vocabulary choices that are more precise and expressive. Before I sign up, please do not forget to download your free PDF of today's lesson. All you need to do is click on the link in the description box below. It's literally titled Get Your Free PDF here, and input your name and email address, and today's lesson will be sent directly to your inbox. You get all the 30 advanced adjectives with their explanations and example sentences so you can practice and review anytime. And if you want to continue sounding even more French, I have the perfect video for you next. Check out my next video on French idioms that will make your French sound native and authentic. French people use these expressions every day, and if you know them, you sound incredibly fluent. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments which adjective was your favorite. Which one will you start using today? I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. And please remember, stop using très so much. Use these advanced French adjectives instead and watch your French improve dramatically. Merci beaucoup. Until I see you in the next video. Bonne journée.